The Minnesota Vikings narrowly defeated the Green Bay Packers 31-29, and I don't know how this game became that close because I had to leave at halftime, and by that point it was 28-0 by the time I tuned out, and Green Bay, they almost came back. I think that's a positive for the Vikings because yes, they're 4-0, but it shows that you can't get too confident, especially a good team like the Packers. Teams can and will try to defeat you. That's the whole point of the game. Teams are gonna come in and they're gonna try to win, right? And on any given Sunday, we saw it. The Raiders defeated the Ravens in week 2, I believe it was. Any given Sunday, any team can show up and show out and upset you. And for the Vikings, I think this showed almost blowing that huge lead to the Green Bay Packers. It showed that, hey, yeah, we're 4-0, but we can't get too confident. So I think that's good for them. It's kind of a wake-up call, to just stay focused, stay committed, and have a really good year. Sam Darnold looks great. There's, MVP talks for Sam Darnold. This was a guy I had a lot of doubts about, but he's proven me wrong for sure. We'll see how he does. If he didn't have these weapons, how would he do without Jay Jettas, without Jordan Addison? But, he doesn't have Hawkinson, so that's one guy out, and Sam Darnold's been really great. And I think just watching the games, it's not only a matter of him having better weapons, but he's just reading the field better. Shout out to Sam Darnold. Now, for the Green Bay Packers, I don't think Jordan Love was ready. I don't think he should have come back this game, especially in the first half. There were just some throws that he otherwise normally would have made. And he was underthrowing balls a lot, and that just comes down to his mechanics. And the Vikings, just with his MCL injury, he wasn't able to really establish himself and get in the right positions to make those throws. So that's one thing, the on the field product. Ultimately, he ended up with 4 touchdowns, but he also had 3 picks. So he did better towards the end of the game for sure, especially that fourth quarter. He was really good. But I think they should have waited a week, especially because my next point here, the Vikings love to blitz. And they were trying to go after Jordan Love quite a bit. And, to just see him take it. I'm not even a Packers fan, but I was worried for the man's health just because he was coming back from an injury that he was expected to take longer to rehab from. And he came back early. And, this was the earliest possible week. And the rumors he was going to come back last week. And so to see him come back so early from an MCL injury, in the earliest possible timetable that he could have come back, he did. And he came back against a heavy blitz team, and he ultimately performed all right. 4 touchdowns, 3 picks. 4 touchdowns is great. You don't like the ratio. And I think he'll be better next week, but I'm just glad he didn't re-aggravate anything because I think they should have waited another week until he's fully healthy because he didn't really look like he needed to be out there. He was underthrowing balls. The mechanics were off, and the Vikings were getting to him. And credit, there weren't a ton of sacks on Love, but the pressure did get to him quite frequently. He had to force that ball out, and he'll be fine ultimately. But I think you could have waited a week, and it would have been even better for Jordan Love. Packers are 2-2 now. I don't think they would have won with Malik Willis. Reportedly, Kevin O'Connell had 2 game plans for if they brought in Love or Willis. But yeah, I don't think you should rush Love back. He didn't look like himself this game, but he will be better, and he's going to continue to prove himself to be one of the best quarterbacks in this league. If you enjoyed this video, it would be great if you could find it in you to like, subscribe, maybe check out the full podcast on Spotify, follow us on there, follow us on Instagram. I know realistically this podcast isn't going to go anywhere ultimately, whether it's via the segments on YouTube or the entire podcast itself. But I want to get into the sports broadcasting business. I want to be able to promote thought-provoking discussions about the NBA, and I would love to do it via State of the Association. Thank you if you made it all the way through.